Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting. Welcome to another Tuesday Night Gold Panning Fever, episode number 173. Let me go catch up on busy chat, see who's here, and thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Brad Thompson, thank you. Joey Brown, Metally Corrupted, Alaskan Assassin Adventures, how's it going, brother? Adam Weiss, Metally Corrupted. Did I already say that? I already said Metally Corrupted. Well, hi, twice. Weezen Geezer, thank you for being here and being a mod. I appreciate it. John Gear, PA, what's up, brother? How's it going? Next year, we got 3.5 more years, brother. 4 years. We got 4 years and 2 months. We'll be in there. Who else? Nightbot's here. Thank you very much for being here, Nightbot. Randy Klatt, thank you for being here. A3 Sky Warrior, Chris W. All right, let's pop out chat. All right, not enough early people. That can be pretty quick. Michael Reed, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. All right, there we go. Mary, how are you? Hopefully you're doing well. Chris W. Thank you for joining the show. Jason G. KC Sering. I thought I saw KC in here. There you go. KC Sering. Thank you for joining the show. And KC. See? Old boats. New boats. So I can start putting a dime in there or a quarter for the way ups. So hopefully that'll help you. Hopefully it'll help everybody. You know, except for the person who guesses wrong. It obviously didn't help them. Right. That's it. I mean, I'm telling you, PA, that's it. Free eggs for everyone. That's all we have to do. That'll be our slogan. Free eggs for everybody. Price of eggs is crazy, you know. U.S. Custom has reclassified Paydirt as biohazard. It depends on which country it's going to, but yeah, a lot of countries will. A lot of countries will list Paydirt as biohazard. If you try to ship to Australia, they'll seize it. I think Germany will as well. So, SRIP63, how's it going? Brian Phillips, thank you for joining the show. Kristen Reed, thank you for joining the show. How are you? The other half of MCD Prospecting. Seized and destroyed at border. Yeah, well, usually if a country decides Paydirt is a biohazard, yeah, they always destroy it. Because I shipped, when I did my Australia month, like 2 years ago, I had a secret shopper in Australia that was sending me this stuff because a lot of it was you couldn't order from the United States. So I had someone in Australia order it. And in return, I sent them like 6 bags of Paydirt that they couldn't get here, and they all got seized. And they claimed when the seizure notice that they were going to be reshipping it back to me, but they don't. They don't reship it. They just throw it away. They burn it. So they put anything that is seized by the customs as a biohazard, fruit, dirt, anything like that, they put in a incinerator because they don't want anything to travel back and forth. So they just burn it. So they just nuke it all. A3 Skyward. Mm-hmm. I mean, the funniest thing is there's a very, very easy way. I mean, Biden, while in office, said, you know, we're going to look into all these companies and their prices. I mean, it's obviously every single country has decided to price gouge Americans, and, you know, all you have to do is go and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. Any company that is not within 10% of pre-COVID prices by 6 months from now, then they will lose any tax benefits they get. They will lose any subsidies they get. They will lose anything. Any future subsidies, any future bailouts, they will lose everything for life. You tell somebody that, I guarantee you egg companies will all of a sudden, oh, look, my egg's worth $3.69. They'll be back down to 79 cents within a week. All you have to do is threaten people where they'll start losing profits and they can fix things. But that's my rant about eggs. I had to buy eggs today, and it just drives me crazy that they're over $3 still. Yes, they sucked because of the sinus infection. Brother, I got you beat. So Saturday, I decided that I was going to cut my grass for the last time for the season, and rake up some leaves that had piled up in a corner. So I did that. It was a nice day this weekend. I go and do that. And then I get inside a couple hours later and I start itching. Well, it turns out that this is part of the season also where chiggers like to lay their eggs and be born. And I found out I am allergic to chigger bites. So my entire body is just covered with quarter-sized welts from all the chigger bites. I mean, you can't see them, but they're on my neck too. But my whole body is pretty much pink now from just taking baths in calamine lotion for the last 2 days. And I'm telling you, I have this. See, I have this sitting next to me so I can keep scratching my back and stuff while we're doing the show because I am just dying. I'm eating Benadryl like they're Tic Tacs and it's just horrible. So that means I can't get anything from Life W Gold anymore? I don't know, Chris W. It just depends on what they say. Now, see, I ship Paydirt out of the country. Sometimes my Tuesday tailings winners. Sometimes people I send Paydirt to thank them for stuff are overseas. I don't mark it as Paydirt. I put it as prospecting supplies. So, if it gets seized, it gets seized. But it'll just really depend. But the problem is, if one bag does get seized, if they sell a 1 gram bag and the person complains and does a chargeback, they'll stop selling. They just will stop selling to the United States. It's not worth it. Won't buy any more from Dan Hurd. I wouldn't buy from Dan Hurd anyway. He's got a 50% ROI. Brad Thompson. Well, I mean, everybody says it. I mean, it's the reason why most people voted this year. I mean, voter turnout was lower this year than previously, but they did do a poll, regardless if you're Republican or Democrat or anything like that. They did do polls where, to the American public, the number one reason anyone was voting for either candidate was because of the economy with prices of food. That was it. That was their number one thing people complained about, was the price of food, What the heck is gerbugs? Chiggers. They're chiggers. They're little bitty microscopic insects. You can't even see them. That if they hit you, they just infect you. So you got 50%. No, I'm just guessing it's about 50%. The last time I did, I can't even remember the last time I did a Dan Hurd bag. I think it was one of his Christmas bags, and it was, 30, 40%. So, Plow Dog, how's it going? Anyone I miss in chat, I apologize. I really thank you for being here. It's always good to have people here, and sometimes I miss it when I'm talking. I miss chat, so yeah, kind of like gnats. Oh, they're just horrible. And the thing is, usually my yard never has them. I usually spray my yard for, bugs and stuff once a year, and I didn't do it this year because the weather was so nice. My grass really didn't grow much, so I was like, well, it's never going to get tall enough to need them. But I guess they found that pile of leaves and were like, woohoo, we're going to breed in here. Oh, and look, here he comes, get ready. So, yeah, I was a big fan of Dan's for a while. Then, well, that's the problem is, there's a lot of people out there with some really big channels, and one of the ways they like to support their channel is they sell Paydirt with really, really crappy ROIs, and I just don't get it. I really don't. I mean, I've done Dan Hurd's, I've done Clash's videos, I've done Slim's videos, and I've reviewed all their Paydirts, and all of them have really, really bad ROIs. And they tell you that, oh, well, my ROI is low because you're supporting the channel. No, people support those channels by being Patreon members. They support those channels by watching their videos and subscribing to those videos. And then you go and say, well, I appreciate you watching my videos. I appreciate you supporting me. I appreciate you. All these things. So how am I going to pay you back? I'm going to rip you off with a bag of Paydirt. Now, I'm not saying they have to give 90% ROIs like the top sellers do. If you go to Vendetta Prospecting, Culver Prospecting, GNS, you'll probably get about an 85, 86% ROI on average. On average, some bags might be a little bit more, some might be a little bit, but that's about it. So Dan Hurd and Slim and Clash could all easily give 70, 75% ROIs. People would be happy. They'd say, it's not as good as GNS. It's not as good as Vendetta, but I'm supporting their channel. but no, they're like, hey, why don't they just throw 40% in there and just totally mess them over? So, ugh. Chef V, how's it going? Crash, how's it going? Thank you for joining. Stanley McFalls. All right. Jason G. Has to be over 70%. Yeah, I mean, that is pretty much my cutoff for a 1 gram bag of pay dirt. When you're spending that much money, I think you should at least get 70% back. If you do the math, a 1 gram bag of pay dirt costs about $100. And if it's got, 70% ROI, if you're getting $70 of that back, the other 30, you figure 10 of that is shipping. Their shipping costs, their bag, their time to just, make it up. And then there's $20 profit. And to me, that seems fair. Giving somebody $20, for an hour of their work digging, putting gold in there and making a bag of pay dirt, it seems fair. I think 70% is the cutoff. Now, obviously, as sellers get bigger and they're not just making 1 bag of pay dirt a week, they're making multiple, so it spreads out. But yeah, I don't understand the whole concept of, we'll rip somebody off. But if you look at it, I think it goes by numbers. If I decided to sell pay dirt, if I put a blast out there, if I put it on my YouTube, if I made a whole video about it and said, I'm selling pay dirt, I might sell 100 bags of pay dirt, so I wouldn't want to rip somebody off because those are going to be my 100 customers. That's all I'm going to get. But when you have 1 million subscribers, you could post a new video every month and get 100 new customers every single month easily. And they don't care if they don't return. I would want my customers to return. They don't care. When you have 1 million subscribers, they do not care if their customers return. So kind of limited on prospecting channels. Yeah. Yeah, everyone on my top 10 I think is really good. They could easily move around. The only reason that their list is the way it is I generally base my top 10 off of ROIs, but the number 1 and number 2 have kind of put there because they won my last 2 championships, Season premiere Oak Island right now. I still need to do the video. I will tell you, Jason, I have probably 10 pages of notes because I always wanted to do a video about the Oak Island, and I have notes and notes about stuff, but I never want to do it because the Oak Island videos don't get enough views on YouTube. There's not a lot of videos that get a ton of views. And I don't think anyone would watch my video because I have nothing to do with Oak Island. I've never done anything with Oak Island. So I think it would just be a lot of effort to get, 30 views. But maybe one day, just because I want I want to complain about some of the things that people do on Oak Island, what they're not doing on Oak Island, and things like that. So I probably lost money with my comet drop. Yeah. I mean, when I sell pay dirt, and I do sell pay dirt every once in a while, I don't think I've sold pay dirt this year, but I know last year I sold it a couple times. I think I sold pay dirt 4 times last year, and I probably will sell some pay dirt next year. But when I sell pay dirt, it's pretty much break even. I pretty much just am doing it to get people who support my channel to have a good experience. Anyone who supports my channel likes painting pay dirt. So I don't want to rip them off. If I get, and generally what happens is the only way I make money if I sell pay dirt is because somebody offers me a good deal. I had, somebody will reach out to me and say, hey, look, I have, a half ounce of gold and I'll sell it to you for 80% spot. I will buy it, then put pay dirt up for sale at 100% spot, but then give them a 100% ROI. So I just make that little 20% and I'm happy with that. I'll sell 20 bags and make $100. But it makes everyone else who's buying the pay dirt really enjoy it and enjoy my channel. So James, how's it going? Thank you for joining the channel. I think 90% of the people who buy pay dirt started with gold and pay dirt. Probably 90%. Do that Oak Island video. I probably will. Maybe I'll do it next. Well, obviously it won't be this year, but maybe I will do it next year. I have to dig up my files and see where I hit them. That's one of the problems is I think of a video and I'll make a whole bunch of stuff for it. I'll even design a lot of thumbnails and stuff. And then I'm like, oh, well, let me just put it over here and I'll put it in a folder somewhere. But I'll have to, the one thing about the Oak Island video is I needed to buy some books because there's a couple of things in the history of it that I need to go back. So I need to go and look up there's two books that I remember as a kid reading a long time ago that had a lot of good information in it. I'll have to try and find those. Mm. Alan Curie, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. And oh, before we get too far in the show, and today, just in case you didn't know and you didn't see the thumbnail, we're going through some Mammoth Gold Nuggets. Paydirt here, one of the sellers on my top 10. We're going through 2 of his bags. Now, whenever I order from Mammoth Gold Nuggets, I always order their beginner level. So these are the beginner level bags. And the reason for that is it's chunkier gold. I want chunkier gold. I need chunkier gold for my Patreon sometimes when I do my Patreon bags. Because I tend to be able to, you can usually find flour gold pretty cheap. You can buy flour gold for like 80% a spot if you know the right sellers that are selling it. But chunkier gold, people don't want to sell for less than spot. So I figure if you buy easier bags of Paydirt, it's a good way to, you know, get bigger sized gold. So what aftershave? No one wants to sell to you. I'll sell to you, Alan. I think I've sold to you before, Alan. Alan's had some of my Paydirt. All right, so now that we have the bags, I need to show everyone. So my good friend Gunnar from Germany, surprisingly, I got a package in the mail from him yesterday. I didn't see him here tonight. Maybe he's working. It's probably, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning right now. But he sent me another advent calendar Paydirt. So we're definitely going to go through this one this year. I might save the other one just to save, but it's kind of funny. In the other one, the 6 was really big one, whichever one is 6 on here, because I guess in Germany, the 6th of December is the big day. That's the day that they really celebrate something. I don't know. So this time we put it on the 25th, but I got an advent calendar for Christmas. I'm definitely going to do that this Christmas. I'll probably do a short every day until Christmas Day. And then he also sent me this, which is his Paydirt, his Lucky Lodi Paydirts. And this is wood. He had someone turn a gold pan out of wood. So I don't know if I'd want to use it as a pan, though. I'd be worried the wood would swell or something. But it's a really cool wood pan. I tried to find a spot for it on my shelf earlier, but I just couldn't. I'll have to find a place later for it, but I will find a place for it. Ortiz, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. Dean Olson. Dylan, you should be in your own top 10. Yeah. I mean, I've said before, if I stopped doing YouTube, I probably would start selling Paydirt, but very limited Paydirt. It would be like boutique Paydirt, where once a month I would do an email drop and tell everyone I've got 20 bags for sale, buy them as you can, and stuff like that, you know. It would be, you know, there's a seller out of Australia that does that. They have a website, but you can't buy off their website. You sign up and then they email you and tell you when it's available. And then everyone just rushes in and buys it. So where can you buy that? Which one? The Advent Calendar? No, it's just a good friend of mine, a guy in Germany who's been watching my channel forever. He does Paydirt reviews in Germany, which is really weird because he always does them in German, but he does go back and redo some of them in English with subtitles. But just a really good friend of mine. He sent me one probably, I want to say 6 years ago. He sent me an Advent calendar. It's just been sitting on my desk. I have a desk over here that I use for, like, you know, cleaning Paydirts and stuff like that. And it's just been sitting there forever. But this time he sent me a new one because I guess I'd been telling him that I was going to do the other one. So he sent me a new one. And there is, in the 25, you can barely see it, but there is a little package in there of something. So we're definitely going to go through this one this year. I'll have to remember. What I'll probably do is do like 5 days at a time, shoot the videos, and then just post one after one a day. So is there a hidden link for today? There probably is, but we don't post the hidden links until I start panning. So, which is going to be in a second. And Wesley, how's it going, brother? Chevy, thank you. Did you send my signed pan? I think so. I might have forgot, though. I'll be honest with you, Brian. I'm writing myself a note, so after the show, I will go look it up, and if I didn't, I will have it out to you tomorrow morning. You know, I had a brain fart the other day, like Friday or something. I was like, and I even thought, did I send everyone's pan out? And then I was like, yeah, I sent them all out. And I even looked at my tracking and I saw I had the tracking numbers I was supposed to. But I might have actually forgotten not, but I will double check. And then I'll email you. So I'm writing myself a note right now to email you about the pan. So if I did ship it, I will send you the tracking number. If I didn't, I will send you a tracking number for the pan that's going out tomorrow. So I missed out on the mentally corrupted Paydirt. Yeah, I have mine somewhere on my shelf. Oh, there it is. Comet drop. Oh, so sweet. Don't you wish you had it? Oh. Oh. Rocky Mountain, no worries. Work away. So, all right, well, let's get to the panning. Let's shrink down the ugly mug. And once I do that, my mods can start dropping the hidden link so everyone can leave a comment. Because, again, this is going to be for spot number 2 for a bag of Miller Prospecting's Tuesday Tailings with a 0.5 gram of gold in it. But if you're a Patreon member and you win, it will be a full gram of gold. So I will make up 2 bags. One will have a 0.5 gram, one will have 1 gram. And whoever wins, wins. So, all right, let's shrink down the ugly mug and start doing some panning. Mega Dog, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. So give me a second while there we go. Put on some gloves, things like that. There you go. All right. Move my microphone. Now the water is a little bit dirty because I was panning some stuff out earlier today, just having some fun with some Paydirt. AAA Rockhound, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. All right, here we go. We got 2 bags. We might pan out both bags at the same time. I think that's what we're going to do. I think we'll just dump both bags into, because I didn't look up to see how much I paid for it or anything like that. All right, come on now. There we go. So, yeah, so let's just open up both bags. Why is a commercial on my channel? I want no commercial. So, I'm not going to classify these down, but as you can see from the first bag, there's some big rocks in there. Some big old rocks. So there we go. Now, I will say one thing. While I totally understand why a lot of sellers do put big rocks in their stuff, I think sellers shouldn't. Unless you're selling the 3-pound bag, I always thought that's the way Paydirt sellers should be. So if you're selling a 1 bag or 1 pound bag or less, it shouldn't really have any big boulders. It really shouldn't, because, you know, there's no reason to pan anything out like that. You're not going to find a nugget this size. There's just nothing. This is, you know, for a 1 gram bag, these are 1 gram bags. You are not going to find a nugget this big. You are not going to find anything in the 1/2 inch size, 1/4 inch size, or bigger. So they really should just screen down to what size nugget you're going to get. You know, if the biggest nugget is a 1/4 inch, then use a 1/4 inch screen and everything else below that. You know, now with a 3-pound, 5-pound bag of Paydirt, yeah, put these in there because somebody's got so much material to pan through. It's kind of fun, but I don't know. Ugh. Too much big. All right, let me see. My chat is not refreshing. Aqua Donkey, how's it going? Michael Kleeman, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. What is the hidden link thing all about? So my mods will drop a link. I think they have already. I'll have to look. No, my mods are being lazy. I'm teasing. No, if one of my mods wants to drop the link, so the mods will drop a comment. It will be a comment that will say if you want to join, and there will be a link in it. Now, the reason that the link is hidden is because nobody else can see this video unless you're here. Yeah, so essentially what Weezer's saying, once they drop a comment, there will be a link in there. As you saw right there, it says Nightbot, win spot number 2 of 8. When you click that link, it will take you to another video of mine, and you leave a comment there. And once you leave a comment there at the end of the show, I pick one out of all the comments that are left, and they obviously win spot number 2 of 8. Once all 8 spots are filled, I give away a bag of Paydirt. So hopefully that explains it. If not, just click the link and leave a comment. All right, let's start painting. All right, and I need to find my coffee. And also, I might have to take a lot of breaks while I'm painting to scratch because, like I said, I am just, it just hits you in waves where it's just like, Oh, that's awesome, Ortiz. How are you liking it? How are you liking it? Are y'all just over the moon with the new responsibility and youngins running around? I can tell you, I am dreading. I still have maybe 3 years of having kiddos in the house, and after that, I'm going to go crazy. I do have plans for what I'm going to do once they're all the way gone, but I will go crazy without having pitter patter of little feet running around driving me crazy. My live chat works and just quits. Yeah, Wesley, that's what mine just keeps doing. I'll be sitting there saying, wow, nobody's saying anything in chat. Then I look on my computer and my computer's chat's just like moving along. So I don't know. Nightbot is lazy. Where's HD? Here's the last one. I don't know. HD's been busy. I think he might be putting in some overtime at work or something. So, got a couple pieces of gold. A couple really tiny pieces of gold. This is a beginner bag. I'll be really curious at the end of the show how much this gold is tiny. Couple little pieces there. Culver, what's up, brother? We were talking about you earlier. Good things, good things. Has its days. Yeah. Yeah, Mary is very well behaved. See, and it's funny is because when Mary first started coming into my chat, everyone's like, oh, Mary, behave. Oh, Mary, behave. Which leads me to believe that maybe it's not Mary who's bad, but the other people who are picking on Mary. So then Mary has to say something back in defense of herself. So maybe Mary's not so bad after all, because she seems to be very well behaved in my chat. And that's because I make everyone else be well behaved as well, not just Mary. Everyone has to behave in my chat. So it does make me think that, you know, You know? It's kind of like when you're riding in the back seat of the car with your brother or sister and you put your finger really close to their face and say, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you. And then they punch you. You know, yeah, they did punch you, and you tell them don't punch them anymore, but we all know why they punched you. Culver's ears were burning, yeah. Oh, and I will tell everyone. So this November's almost over. It's almost December. And December is going to be I'm going to be doing my Paydirt championship again. But I already got all the dirt in. All the dirt. I've got so many bags of Paydirt for this championship because I ordered it all early. And it doesn't matter who wins. I have more bags. I don't have to have secret shoppers order more from any of my sellers or anything like that. I bought enough bags that no matter who wins, it's all covered. So we will be doing the Paydirt championship again this year. And I'm excited. I start panning. I start shooting those videos like next week. No, I'll be excited. Some chunky gold, but also some little tiny gold. So these are a little bit harder than I was expecting for a beginner bag. I mean, I don't think there's a little bitty piece. There's probably one little tiny piece in each one. I don't think if you missed them, your ROI would change. Oh, hold on. My chat, come on. uh, Troubled one, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Culverized. I'm gonna have to look though, Culver. I think I had all my secret shoppers buy all of your easiest Paydirts. But the reason I do that, and last time you asked why I bought the easiest one, and the reason is because if I've got to shoot 8 Paydirts in one day, I don't want them to be really, really hard Paydirts. You know, I try to always, for the championship, I always try to get easier Paydirts because, you know, difficulty isn't one of the requirements for the championship. So if I got 8 really tough bags to start off, you know, it would just burn me out really, really quickly. And Charles King, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. And again, Troubled One, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. Chat keeps locking up. Yeah, it keeps locking up on me as well. I don't know what it is. YouTube's always got something broken. I just don't understand them. You know, they're either not sending out, you know, messages or something, you know, comments don't go through. But yeah, chat for me keeps locking up. So I have to keep looking at my laptop to see if the chat's at a different spot than this one. And what sucks is I'm on my tablet and, you know, my hands are wet. So every time I go to click it to try and refresh, it closes and I have to like reopen it. So. Yeah, none of your bags looked really, really easy. I just always pick, you know, like I was saying in the last show, you and Vendetta are about the same, where you'll say, you know, like, oh, this bag's 9 out of 10. This bag's 8 out of 10. This bag's our easy one, 7 out of 10. So it's not a really an easy bag. It's just the easiest out of all your bags. But I'll have to look and see. Next Tuesday, whatever next Tuesday, yeah, you'll probably be able to tell which bags because they're gonna all be on the shelf, or maybe they won't because maybe I'll be handing them out. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't even know. I haven't opened the box yet, so I have to. I've been just stockpiling boxes of Paydirt for the championship. Some chunkier pieces, some small pieces. Nice little picker right there. But still some fly poop, some little bitty pieces in there. It's really surprising. And I will say, this gold is a little bit bigger than I actually thought it would be, too. I was thinking this gold would be like the 30 mesh gold or something like that. But this stuff's pretty good. A lot of these pieces would be plus 10. And considering how cheap Mammoth Gold Nuggets is, their Paydirt's got a good spot and a good ROI. Is GS here? What's up, GS? How's it going, brother? I was just getting ready to watch your video that you just put out, and I was like, oh my god, I'm running so late for my own show. So I'll have to be watching that afterwards. Yeah, trouble. I opened up the email when I was in here setting up, and I saw it. Those bags look big. But I already told you I want one. But I might have to see. Oh no, I have to look at the bag again because I might want to ask to see if you'll just sell me just the bag without the Paydirt. Because I don't know if I want to have enough room on my shelf to start putting 2 bags of people's Paydirt on my shelf. Or maybe I'll buy one and pan one out. Maybe I'll do that. How many times do you guys rerun your tailings? Before I started my channel, I mean, nowadays I have buckets. I have a line of 5-gallon buckets full of dirt because I never get rid of my tailings now until I've, years later, then they go in my yard. But when I first started panning, the way I started was I had a 3-gallon bucket. And I mean, I would probably say you could use a 5-gallon bucket and just do halfway. And what I would do is I would repan my material, throw it in the bucket. So I'd pan out my material. So if I bought a 1-pound bag, I would just pan it, throw it in the bucket, buy another 1 pound, another 1 pound, 1 pound. And once I got like 10 pounds, then I would just save up money and say, okay, I don't need to buy any Paydirt for a while. And I would just pan out those 10 pounds and then dump them back in the bucket and then start over again until I had 20 pounds in the bucket and then start over. But generally my rule was if I repanned and I found gold, then I would repan it again. So, like if you go and all my tailings from tonight, let's say if I go and repan them, if I find 1 speck of gold, even 1 speck, then I'll save the dirt and say, okay, now next week I'll go through it again and repan it. And then if I found no gold, then I'd say, okay, it's safe to throw it away. But anytime on a second panning, if you find gold, that means you're missing something and you should not throw it away. That's it. What troubled ones? Until you stop finding gold, keep panning it. And then it also depends too. So don't mix material if one of them has, so like, let's say if this material was all chunky stuff, which it is, then I could throw it in a bucket and say, okay, this is my chunky bucket. But if it's all like minus 40, minus 50, minus 100 gold, don't mix them together because you'll keep finding gold no matter what. Yeah, 2 of my mods are missing tonight. Weezin, you're going to have to do extra work tonight. And I appreciate it, Weezin. Thank you very much. Both Donna and HD missing. I'm going to have to listen to Mary and start making more mods, right? Which reminds me, I need to get on the ball on what I plan on doing in January. That's it. Just send an email to Brad. He'll run them for you. More gold. So far, every pan's been full. And I have had people send me material, but don't get any ideas. I had a good friend of mine. He went where did he go? He went high banking somewhere in North Carolina, like a private field you could go to, a private mine. And so he went there and he high banked all day. And he was like, "Oh, I cleaned out my, my mats and everything." And he says, "I panned through it." But he didn't pan through it. That's what I'm saying. He went through his high banker and he got, I guess it was 10, 12 pounds of cons. And he was like, "Oh, I'm just going to send it to you to pan through to get all my gold out." And so he sent it to me, and I went through those 12 pounds of material panning. And it was fun to pan out because, I knew it was a good buddy of mine, and, this is what he'd been working on. One piece of gold. One tiny, it was probably 30 mesh piece of gold in there. And that was because it had some mercury on it. It had mercury mixed in with it, so it was a little bit bigger because of the mercury. But 12 pounds for one piece of gold. Yes, it should be a link. The win spot number 2, there's a link on it. Are you not seeing the link? It says, go here and leave one comment, and then there's a link, and if you click the link, it should open up in another channel. If not, I'll just post the link. I know some people it does block. I don't know why. It's usually something to do with how their router is running or something, because I know Justin has problems with the link a lot. Yeah, I don't mind if people, if you email me first and ask me if I'll go through something, I will. It might just take me forever. I am not the fastest when it comes to 1, replying to emails, and 2, actually panning out stuff I'm supposed to pan out, or shipping stuff I'm supposed to ship out. So I'm generally always a week or 2 behind when it comes to just daily life things. So, things like Paydirt, I'm months behind. It's one of the reasons why I stopped doing mail calls. I really stopped doing mail calls because I used to do mail calls, but a lot of times the stuff I was getting was a year back. And it's like, these people might not even be subscribed to me anymore, and I'm doing a mail call for them a year later. So now I just kind of, if somebody wants to send me something, if it's, shelfable, it just goes on the shelf instead. I am Zaxxon. How's it going, brother? Thank you for joining the show. TM, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. And anyone, if I miss you, I apologize. Thank you so much for joining the show. I don't think I Am Zaxxon's ever won. Yeah, I Am Zaxxon's never won. There's a lot of people that haven't won. There's, you only have like a 1 in 45, 50% chance, 1 in 50 chance to win. So it's not the best odds, that's for sure. I will say one of the things I've been working on that's for next year is I might start going back and giving away the Miller Prospect and gold plated dimes. But now I'll start giving them away after each video. So every time I post a video, I'll pick a comment and send them up one. Because I do miss giving those away, but it just kind of got to where if I was doing them on that people just weren't already had them. So they were like, man, I already got 3 of them. I don't need another one. So, but it's been a while since I was really giving them away. So I might go back to doing the giveaways for the gold-plated dimes, but not on Tuesdays. Those will just be for a regular video. We'll just pick comments. Thank you very much, TM. I appreciate it. Oh, that's another picker. I wonder if there was one picker in each bag. Nice. I won. You did win? All right. So the way I think about it is I hope everyone at least wins once, you know, especially long time. You know, if you're only going to be subscribed to me for a couple months and you get sick, you're not really into Paydirt, you just, you know, like looking at my ugly mug or something, then, you know, I'm not going to root for you. But people that have been with my channel for years and years and years. And trouble, when I am panning out, I've mixed 2 bags of Mammoth Gold Nuggets. This is Mammoth Gold Nuggets. These are their easy bag. It was 2 of their beginner bags. No. I figured, because when I was having my secret shopper buy the 1 ounce, I also had him buy a 1 gram later. And then I had another secret shopper buy another 1 gram just mixed in there. Just because it relates to the video I just put out, the last couple of videos I put out. Ed Hiles. You're welcome. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you're already subscribed, if not, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And thank you. And make sure, Miller Prospecting. I keep track of my top 10. I probably update my top 10 once a month. Even though it might not look like it's updated because nothing moves, I do check. That's why Irwin's was removed, because Irwin, I guess, stopped selling Paydirt or is out of Paydirt. Hasn't had any in stock, so there's no real reason to be on the list if you can't buy anything from them. So I appreciate that. I absolutely love gold panning. I love the hobby, so I try to make sure. That's weird. Why would he go to Etsy? Etsy's fees are so much higher if he's already got a website. Are you sure it's him that's actually selling it? I have to go and look. Because I know I bought Irwin's Paydirt off of eBay before. One of my videos, I did a video, it's been a while, maybe 2 years ago, where I got an over 100% ROI on an Irwin's Paydirt bag because I bought it on Etsy. I bought it on eBay from a seller, something 10. I don't remember their full name. But they were essentially just a reseller where I guess they bought a warehouse or something like that and somebody had a bag of Paydirt. So they just look up the website, see how much it's selling for, and they sell it for a little bit cheaper. So, I'll have to look it up. But like I said, I did buy a bag of Irwin's off of eBay that was not affiliated with them because I did email them afterwards and ask them, hey, is this you on eBay? And they said, no, it's not. They just must have a bag or a Paydirt and they're selling it. You know. And Irwin was selling the bag for like $50 and I bought it for like 40, so I ended up making money. But yeah, since he doesn't have a website anymore, I had to take him off. It's just, you know. I'm Zaxxon. No, did you not get my orders? Did you not get my order? I sent you a box full of pennies. They were the really dirty pennies covered in oil from that Jeep, you know, where the Jeep engine blew and all the oil dumped all on the ground. I just soaked up all the oil with pennies. And I sent them to you. Some more pickers. Oh, these are pretty. This one, questionable picker, just thin. This one actually makes a little bit of noise. This one, it's just rolled flat. Well, I appreciate that, TM. Years and years of practice. Come on, Biggie. Well, you know, I understand why people love Jeeps, but Jeeps are not, unless you have deep pockets, you do not want a Jeep. Or you're handy. If you know how to fix stuff yourself, then I would by all means, I think Jeeps look really cool. They're fun, to go mudding and stuff like that. But unless you know how to fix them or have deep pockets, you do not want a Jeep. I mean, that could be said for a lot of cars. There's a lot of hot rod cars out there that, again, if you don't know how to fix them yourself or if you don't have deep pockets, they will just spend a lot of time on blocks in your yard. So. Chances of snow again. It is so weird here. See, Indiana has the weirdest weather. Last week, I mean, I think it was last Tuesday, I was in a hoodie on the live show because it was cold. It was, I think, 40 degrees. This whole weekend was 72, 73, really beautiful weather. Perfect weather for the chiggers to come out and just destroy me. And the only reason I'm mentioning them is because right now I'm having an itching attack that just, I just want to lay on a carpet and just scooch up and back and forth, back and forth. My buddy has a new Jeep in the shop. Yeah. Jeeps, I mean, if you're over the age of probably 25 and you don't know Jeeps are a bad buy unless you have, like I said, deep pockets or can fix them, it's, shame on you. And your parents should have told you, don't buy a Jeep, And I remember when I was a kid, I was probably, what was I? Maybe 17 or 18, something like that. I was really young. A friend of mine is like, oh, dude, you want to go half on a Volkswagen? And I was like, what kind of Volkswagen? And it was a Volkswagen Bug. It was a dune bug. And it had a Porsche engine in it. And I said, yeah. And I think it was $1,000. So we each copped up $500. It wasn't running. It wasn't running, by the way. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, it's just, a little bit of engine work on it. We spent the entire summer working our jobs that we worked. I worked construction, and I don't remember what he did. And we spent our entire summer trying to fix that horrible Volkswagen up. It's probably still at the back of the house that I used to live in. Because we just towed it there. We dragged it with our other car, and it sat in my backyard at 911 Jackson Avenue. So if anyone lives in New Orleans and you want to go check out Jackson Avenue, 911 Jackson Avenue, there's probably a Volkswagen Bug in the backyard. It still needs engine work. And I will say, I know a lot of people complain about new cars and new tech. Some of the stuff in old cars just used to be a nightmare. Like I used to have a truck I used to work on all the time. And I had a old Datsun that I used to work on. Datsun was my first car. And I had a truck. And if you got a timing issue, man, that was it. You were going to spend your whole life with a timing issue because you'd think you had it fixed. You'd be like, oh, this is perfect. And then you'd hit 65 miles an hour on the interstate, and that would mess up the timing again. So then you'd have to spend an entire day messing around with the timing again. It'd blow out your points or something else. So, there was always something. The timing, I think, was a big issue on old cars. Anything else was pretty easy. But, man. Checking the address on Google Earth. Yeah, it was right next to a firehouse. It'll be in the backyard because the backyard had a side, like you had to go to the side street to get into the backyard. Oh, excuse me while I itch. Oh my gosh. Yes, this is a guaranteed bag. These were 1 gram guarantees, and I have 2 of them, so I should find 2 grams. And they were beginner bags, so they should be chunky. And if I miss anything in chat, I apologize. I'm having a hard time keeping up with chat because I'm just being eaten alive by these stupid chigger bites are just driving me crazy. I need to go take a bath in calamine lotion again. Volkswagen electrical nightmares. Yeah. And Tomcat, James, honey, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Old school tuning. The big reason I don't have my 2000 is I need a laptop to diagnose. Yeah, it's there's trade offs for everything. I think eventually. One of the problems with, and I think everybody does this, it's not any particular group of people or anything like that, is when people complain about something, if they say, oh, cars are inefficient and they're just not efficient enough, people overcompensate. They just go crazy and they say, okay, well, let's make it so it's this much, instead of doing this, if there's not enough, whatever it is. If somebody tells you, oh, I like your cornbread, but it doesn't have enough honey, it doesn't taste like honey enough. The next time they make it, they just won't add a little bit more honey. They'll add a whole bunch of honey. And then you'll eat it and you'll be thinking to yourself, man, this cornbread just tastes like pure honey. It's just not good. It's just too much honey. But you're not going to tell them that because then then they'll stop adding any. So it's just, And I think of course, they did that with cars, They just made them so overly complicated. Oh, this is a nice. I was gonna say it's a nice nugget, but it doesn't sound very heavy. See, this one actually sounds heavier than this one. I don't know, but some big chunky pieces now. See, this is why I ordered the beginner bags. So, if it's not for a review, I generally I go two ways. If I'm going to be buying Paydirt for either Tuesday or for myself, I'll either try to get a beginner bag or a really, really hard bag. I don't do the ones in between. I like the beginner bags because I like the little pickers and stuff like that for, put it in my picker jar. Who puts honey in cornbread? A lot of people. If you're in the South, you put honey in cornbread. It's funny, and the reason I brought up cornbread was because I had to buy cornbread today for my kids because we're doing chili next week, and I didn't know if they would want cornbread with honey or not. So I was like, well, I'll buy one of each, and we're just gonna make both of them, and we'll see. I put honey on, but not in it. Yeah. Yep. Timing and carbs. Yeah, carbs was. I remember. Oh, which car was it I had? I fiddle faddled. I think it was my truck. I think I fiddle faddled with my truck with my carburetor for so long. I mean, it used to just drive me crazy. And then I was just like, okay, I'll solve this. I'm just gonna go order a new one from what was it? The mail order catalog that you have to use. It started with a W. So I'm like, I'm just ordering a new 4-barrel carb from them, a Holly 4-barrel. Got it, put it on, did not work. It's like it needed to be adjusted. I was like, ah. Like, man. But it was only two things, though. That's the good thing. The only two real issues you ever had with old cars was timing or the carburetor. That was it. Anything else was easy. Freeze plugs, you could just pop out and pop in new ones. You could, you would have the same problems if your manifold, the bolts would lock up and you'd have to drill them out. J.C. Whitney, that's it. Thank you very much, Gilbert, and thank you for joining the show. But yeah, but they just kind of went overboard making cars too complicated. Because I was reading something the other day where they were saying that people are so upset with the touchscreen stuff now that a lot of car companies are starting to roll back and go back to actually having knobs and stuff. Because it was just one more nightmare of something to break. If a knob breaks on your car, it's pretty easy to fix. You can just buy the knob, put it on there. If your touchscreen breaks, everything's broken. So. Oh no, GS. Oh man, that sucks. I hate losing power. It's probably like the worst thing. RX-7s. Oh my gosh. Those rotary engines, yeah. Couple more little pieces. Oh, and that's it. That was the last of it. Then we just got to clean it up. It's funny about the miles. I always see that. It just depends on the car. It used to be back in the day, like when I was growing up and you had, any car would get over 100,000 miles. Easy. I mean, it didn't matter what you bought. You were getting over 100,000 miles on it. But nowadays, a lot of these car companies are putting out these cars that are, like, for example, since, we all love Jeeps. The Jeep Liberty. There's probably 95% of all Jeep Liberties will never hit 100,000 miles without a major, major job having to be done on them. They're just made, but they're cheap. They were the ones where they look cute, so all the like college kids would buy them, but they're not going to make 100,000 miles because they figured the people that are buying like the cheap, pretty cars are probably going to wreck them long before they, that the engine gives out at 80,000 miles. Hmm. Right. It's just like, what is it? What's that? What's the cheap Chevy? Oh my gosh, there's that one Chevy last couple of years that it's the same thing. That they're just, super cheap cars for people who, can't afford anything better and aren't willing to like, just save for a little bit longer so they could get a so much better car. And Ron Hubbard, thank you for joining the channel. I apologize if I missed you. Trying to pan and keep up with chat and scratch at the same time. The Ford Tauruses, those weren't bad cars. The Ford Tauruses were made to last. They were beaters. The Ford Tauruses are beaters. But it was like the Chevy, I want to say Cavalier, but that might not be it. Really nice pan. Now, again, this is 2 bags, so should be 2 grams in here. Flip over. Yeah, my son's going to be getting his first car soon. So, yeah. Trying to get his expectations down a little bit for all the ones he's looking at, with his budget, I don't know, Wesley. It's mine too. Mine, for some reason, has started to work a little bit, but it was doing it all earlier. It did it last week too. It just kept freezing. It's just something to do with YouTube, and they only made $1 trillion today, so they couldn't afford to pay their engineers to fix whatever issues are. This one, I don't know. You probably won't be able to see it, but this one, let's see. It's got a nice piece of host rock on it. Nice specimen piece. I will say this stuff is a lot cleaner than I'm used to from Mammoth Gold Nuggets. I wonder if they've been cleaning their gold a little bit. I mean, I see a couple little spots of their typical red material on it, but not much. It looks a lot cleaner than usual. You just have to keep talking. D3, how's it going? Thank you. So there we go. I think that's it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to weigh it all up because I can't get an ROI on it, but I do want to weigh up a couple of these pickers to see what they weigh. So I'll probably pull a couple of these out, dry them up, weigh them up. Well, I appreciate you lurking. I appreciate that. Here, let's pull out a couple of these. Come on, get over here. Yeah, that'll work. There we go. First on race day. All right. Let's torch the gold. Dry it up. And if anyone ever wonders what I dry my gold in, I just use metal measuring cups. See, just buy a full set of them. I always found they were the easiest. Because that way when I'm doing my videos, when I'm panning, I can put, each classification of gold in each pan and then dry it up and separate it. There we go. All right, we're going to give this a minute to cool off and then we're going to weigh it up. Still here lurking? All right. I appreciate that. Let me go find my scale because we're going to need my scale. And I got a new scale in yesterday. I bought a new A&D scale. Even though I love my Frankfurt, I needed another scale so I could have one on each side of my studio so I didn't have to do like I just did and actually get up and move. I needed a backup scale, so I was like, oh, I know. I'm going to get an A&D one this time. So I got an A&D scale. It's only 2-digit though, because I don't really, third digit really didn't make much sense anyway. But then I got a couple new F1 weights in so I could, tear them out better. Make sure I got a half-gram F1. Those things are expensive, the F1 weights. Talking about itching has made me start itching. Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you, like, anytime you don't see me panning or doing, I've got a stick and I'm just scratching my back to craziness. Oh. And as soon as this show's over, I'm going to go lay on my rug, without my shirt on, and just scooch back and forth, up and down. So it's just driving me crazy. Well, there you go, Mentally Corrupted. That sounds like a beast. Cost more than my house, though. All right, where are we? Oh, I need my cutting board. All right. that right on? Here, let me. There we go. Let's start weighing some of these up, see what they are. I love my Frankfurt scale. I mean, this is absolutely bomb. It was just I was looking on Amazon and I was gonna get another one of these as a second backup one. And then I saw the A&D one. It was on sale. And I was like, ugh. I mean, it was more, but all right. This is this piece with the host rock on it. 0.17. There we go. This is that really flat one. Yeah, yeah. See, this one, it looks big, but it doesn't weigh very much. Hmm. 1.7 again. 1.65. And we got this one. So not really big. I wouldn't count it. I don't even know if these are a little bit pickers, but they don't weigh very much. 0.190. And the last one, this is the potato. There we go. 0.295 on that one. So what do they all weigh? These are just the pickers. So we probably have a gram right here. Yeah, it's close. So almost a gram just in the pickers. And we still have at least a gram in there, so. Hey, Refotris. What? You were doing your live show at the same time as me? I thought that was forbidden. No worries, brother. No worries at all. Oh, if you got to text Culver, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's the best time. Best time to text anybody, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Because people seem to think that and they text me at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. But there we go, 0.910. And we still have some gold in the pants. We're going to move the scale. Because otherwise, if I leave it there, I'll knock it into the water or something. And then, there we go. That's at least a gram in there. But it is time for Ugly Mug. So, all right. I'll set up. Nice pile of gold. Where is... Oh, we're going to put the chunkies back in. There you go. Put the chunkies back in there. And we'll shrink it down. There we go. Let me see. Yeah, the Frankfurt scale, it does drop in price. I think originally, which is weird. I think originally when I originally bought the first time I switched to the Frankfurt scale, I think it was like $89, and then it went up. It went up from $80, $90 to like $105 or something like that. But generally, it stays at like $80, $85, and it's a good scale for that price. It's definitely. But I love A&D scales. They're some of the best scales. So I was like, well, I'm gonna be spending money, I might switch to it. I might move it as my main, but I don't really have enough room over there. We'll have to see. So if you start seeing that one in my videos, we'll see. I'm just trying to catch up on chat. I paid $100. Yeah, it's like I said, it stays about 90. But anytime you put anything in your cart on Amazon, it'll go up or go down, and just. So I thought I had brought down the A&D scale to put down here, but I guess it's still sitting somewhere upstairs. So, but I really like my Frankfurt. I needed one because I need one upstairs. I bought Frankfurt sells a little bitty scale, like a little tiny one. But every time I use it, it just fluctuates too much. I'll put it on something on there once, and it'll weigh 1 gram, and I'll put it on the next time, it'll be 0.9, and I'll put it on the next one, it'll be like 1.1, and it's just so far off, I can't like use it. So I'm always I need to bring a scale upstairs, and I need 2 down here for when I'm shooting my videos. I can just double check everything. So figured I'd get an A&D and try it out and see. If I don't like it, if it's the one thing about the A&D is it's kind of like the scale part is pretty big, and it might cause too much reflection when I'm shooting the videos from a top shot. So I might end up using it just upstairs for when I'm weighing up gold for Patreon and stuff. Hey, Glenn, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. The only thing you don't want to do with Amazon is you don't want to put a whole bunch of stuff in your cart before Black Friday. They have shown there was a big article, I guess it was like 2 years ago, where they were showing right before Black Friday, people tend to like, oh, these are all the things like my wish list, and they put them in their cart, hoping that during Black Friday the price would drop. And there was a big article about it where somebody did that. They got a whole bunch of people together, and they all put stuff in the cart. All the stuff went really high in price, and then they Black Friday'd it down till it was still higher than what you had originally put in your cart. So if you put it in your cart at 50, right before Black Friday, they raise the price to $100, and then they'd say, ooh, Black Friday sale at $60 now. So never put anything in your cart before the Black Friday sale or the Cyber Monday or anything like that. So take them out. I always tell my daughter, I say, just screenshot it, just, or write it down on a piece of paper, then take it all out of your cart, and then you go double check it later. Yeah, see, I use rechargeable batteries, and I put in new batteries every video I shoot with my Frankfurt. And I used to use it plugged in. Like if you watch my old videos when I first got the Frankfurt in, I always had it plugged in. It's just with my new setup, I need better cord management, and there's nowhere for me to actually plug it in, my new scale. So, but with the if I switch to the A&D, I will put a plug in. So mm. Itchy time. Calamine lotion is calling my name upstairs. And more of my bright pink Tic Tacs called Benadryl. Yeah, make sure everyone, thank you very much, Weezen. Make sure if you haven't already, you go and leave a comment on the hidden video. We're going to be giving away spot number 2 for my Miller Prospecting Tuesday tailings. And after we've got 8 names picked, which will take obviously 8 weeks, the next week we will give away, pick one winner out of those 8 people. And you'll get either a half-gram bag if you're not a Patreon supporter, but if you're a Patreon supporter, it will be a 1-gram bag of Paydirt. So thank you for being a Patreon member. So. Yeah, that is one of the problems with weighted ones. That's why I tire. So the 2 things I do, I always do with my scales, is I always change the batteries out every time, which sucks. And sometimes I do forget. Every once in a while I do forget, but then I tear it out every single time just to make sure. So, and that's why I was saying I bought some because like with the Frankfurt, it only gives you 250 grams, like to tare it and you to verify it, you'll put the 250s on there to weigh it. But if you buy, I bought an F1, you can get a F1 1 gram. See, I have that one here. Off camera. You know, you can get little F1s, 1 gram weights, and I just bought a ½ gram one. So I will double check with those now just to verify that everything is, you know, close. Because that is one of the things that sucks about having batteries in a scale is it does not tell you, it doesn't warn you and anything like that. And it's the same thing, really cold weather or really hot weather will affect the scales. So if it's like really cold in my studio, what video was it? It was last year. I was weighing up something for a review and it was like a guaranteed 3 gram bag. And it was showing up at like 2.6. And I was like, what? And I'm like, okay, let me go repan everything out. And I'm repanning everything out. And I'm like, I don't find any gold. Let me weigh it up again. And I weighed it up again. And it showed up at like 3.3. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? And then I realized it just clicked on me that my scale had been sitting in my, you know, because a lot of times I bring it upstairs during the winter. It wasn't sitting down here. It was just frozen, you know. Gotta get you one of those 1 grammers. That's the best one. Is I use the 1 grammer every time just to spot check. If I don't want to do the whole tare thing, I'll just drop it on there, make sure. But then I just got a ½ gram one. So, and good luck. Yeah, we're gonna be doing the giveaway in like 7 minutes. I used to have the bars. Yeah, mine just doesn't work. It just doesn't turn on one day. But generally, I think you can tell. So, but yeah, so that's why I always change my batteries out as often as I can. I try to remember all the time. Because I have them, I always have 4 charging on my desk. So we'll have to see. But here, let me go check, make sure everything went through, all the comments are through. Usually, HD is not here tonight. Usually, HD is my person to tell me if all the comments are going through. Because he'll notice if they're not. Oh, yeah, they all went through. It's awesome. So here we go. We'll pull the link. We got the link all set up. And there we go. But so for Saturday, I don't have a video coming out this Saturday, but I do have a video coming out next Saturday. It's actually going to be an equipment review. It's actually going to be an equipment battle. I'm going to be battling 2 pieces of equipment, 2 sluices head to head. See which one catches more gold, which one catches just more material, which one will capture more material, which one will capture gold better. But I do have 2 sluices battling against each other, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. And next Tuesday, we'll be panning something out, but I don't know what. I got something on my shelf of wonder. I think maybe I'll get a couple of these little bags. I've got a lot of little bags, you know. Ozark Buck, one of my good friends. I have a bag from him. Maybe we'll do Ozark Bucks and a Mega Dog, a ½ grammer. I don't even know what the Mega Dog one was. Maybe we'll do a Mega Dog. We got a Mega Dog, some Ozark Buck. We'll do these next week. Oh yeah, and my Jacobs brand. So we're gonna do 3 bags next week. We'll do these 3. This one I won. I actually entered a contest I didn't know I entered. It was just like a comment video. And I was just leaving a comment on a video and didn't realize they had a giveaway. And so they emailed me and said, we're sending you this. And I said, okay, that's awesome. So and it's been sitting here for like a year. So we'll go through a couple bags next Tuesday. Make some room on my shelf for some Paydirt. Even though I will say, after I do my championship battle, my shelves are going to be very, very bare. Because a lot of the Paydirt on here is the championship stuff. And yeah, I'm going to have to like zoom in a little bit closer so my shelves aren't so empty. But all right, let's go. What we got? 5 minutes. Yeah, so let's go. I'm gonna shrink down my ugly mug. We're gonna do the giveaway, but first let me take the panning cam off. So bye gold. Now I will post, if for some reason I will weigh this up later tonight, and if for some reason it's not 2 grams or if it's way over 2 grams, I will post a video, or not a video, but I will post on Patreon that will be, and on my community tab here, just to see, because, you know, I don't know the price of these I paid. For whatever reason, I didn't track it. So I don't know what my secret shopper paid. I mean, I could go back through emails and find out. But just if it's something short or something really crazy, like if it's 2.4 grams or 2.5 grams, I will post on a community page just so people can see. Because I really like Mammoth Gold Nuggets. I think they're a great seller. But all right, let's make sure my window capture is up there. Yeah, so let's shrink down the ugly mug again. That's people's favorite part. And then we're going to pull a name. Oh, happy birthday, brother. Is it your birthday? Well, congratulations, man. I knew a couple weeks ago we were talking about your birthday, but I didn't know it was this close. Brad Welch, how's it going? American Freedom 101, how's it going? Karen Unz, I don't know if I said hi to you, but thank you for being here. Dylan was being a slacker. Yeah, I'm always a slacker. I am always weeks and weeks behind on everything. I just, health issues, mental issues, it's just, I'm always behind on everything. I might do that, TM. Let me see. So I do need to order some more dimes. So the next time I order some dimes, what I'll do is, because obviously if you get an old dime from like the 80s, it might have wear on it and stuff like that. But I'll try and see if I can get, next time I buy a batch, if I have a really new dime, whether it's gold plated, like if they have, a 2023 or 2024, then that'll mean they just got a whole bunch of uncirculated coins and gold plated them. And I'll have to see. And then I'll have to just find one, go through all my dimes. I have a jar full of change, go through and see if I can't find a really nice, pristine dime and weigh them up and see how different they are. I don't know, Mary. I don't know if I was or not. I didn't complain. Nobody's ever complained to me that I was, but Knights 880. Well, I appreciate you lurking. I really do. But all right, I shrunk down the ugly mug. Let's shameless plug, Miller Prospecting, and the great top 10. Again, Gold Nugget Sales, Vendetta Prospecting, Gold Nugget Man, Culver Prospecting, Gold Bay, Brian Thomas Gold, Prospecting Gear. Yay! It's an Indiana company. So, and since I live in Indiana, I'm going to give a shout out to Prospecting Gear. Flash in the Pan Paydirt, RJ's Paydirt, the newest addition to my top 10. Yukon Alley and Mammoth Gold Nuggets. And the only reason these two are 10 is because they don't sell all the time. They seem to run out of Paydirt a lot. Yukon Alley, it's been a while. If she doesn't put some Paydirt up pretty soon, I might have to take her off the list, which really crushed me. I love Yukon Alley. Just absolutely great person. Allison's an absolutely wonderful person, and I love her Paydirt. So, but all right, random comment. Here we go. And again, YouTube and its affiliates have nothing to do with this giveaway. This is 100% by me to give back to anyone who joins my live show and hangs out with me. But if I do pull your name, you must post something in the live chat before the end of the show to claim your prize, which is a spot on my upcoming raffle. If you don't, then you lose your spot, and next week we'll just pull 2 names. So here we go. And there already is one person on the list, and that's Matthew Phelps. So this will be spot number 2. Anything goes, no replies. 41 comments, pick a winner. Troubled one. So I think he was in chat. Now he must post something for spot number 2. So Troubled one, congratulations. And because of you, now we're going to have to go back and look at my ugly mug. And again, Miller Prospecting website. If you want to check out any of my reviews, they're all here. Any of my other videos, all my live shows, as well as a live show schedule where it shows other channels. If you know somebody that wants to be on the live show schedule, I'll put them here. Unclaimed money, where to find gold. If you want to sell some gold, you can always hit me up. I don't pay the best though, so, you might not want to hit me up. I mostly buy, if anyone wants to sell me gold, I will buy it, but I only usually buy stuff under 10 grams because most buyers won't buy anything under 10 grams. I'm that person. I don't pay as well, but if you've got 1 or 2 grams and you just need $100, I'll pay more than $100 for 2 grams, but and then the search feature. So, and there is something coming here soon, but I'm working on it. I am having the hardest time. There is something in this spot right here that is going. but it's requiring me to do a lot of computer programming, and I haven't done that in years, so I'm really having a hard time with it. So eventually, though, it will get there. I just need to buckle down, sit down with a couple cups of coffee, and figure it all out and trial and error and stuff like that. But I do have something for that spot that will help out people that buy Paydirt, or I hope it does. So, but all right, let's see. Did Trouble One happen to post? There you go. So, oh, did you win something yesterday? So, well, you didn't actually win. You're just on a list to win. So, yeah. The odds are, so you have a 1 in 8 chance now of winning. So your odds are a little bit better. So in this show, you had a 1 in 40 chance of getting picked, and now your odds will now be 1 in 8. So. Some brand new dirt's coming out. Ooh. Yes. Might be hot, might be cold. Who knows? I will say, somebody did do. Who did that? Somebody did do that theme, Fire and Ice. Somebody, I think, I want to say Dig Daddy. Either he did it or LXR did it. I know I've seen it. I know I've seen, and maybe it was LXR. Let's see. He's got his dragon's nest. He's got, I don't know. I'll have to look now, but. Oh no, A3. Oh no. Texas Donna, how are you? How are things? Hopefully doing good. Hopefully finding some gold in Texas. Oh, okay, Mary. That sounds good. I will put you down. So now I wrote down Troubled One / Mary. I think don't take my word for it, but here I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up really quickly, because I think I know who did it. And like I said, I think it was LXR. No, maybe not. No, he had his St. Patty's, Dragon's Den, Dragon's Moon, Midnight Fury, Yellow Jacket, Blue Wall, 3-headed. Huh. No. Maybe I'm just thinking it somebody did. I mean, maybe it was just somebody else's like custom bag that was just doing one. But I don't know. Maybe not. Well, thank you very much, Ortiz. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Like I said, I'm getting ready to go just destroy my back with a giant back scratcher and just lay in a tub of Calmine lotion and take some more of those Tic Tacs that Benadryl has now become. So Russia might hit NATO. Yeah, I don't think so. I think right now Russia's just trying to get as much land grab as they can before those peace talks. I think it's one of those wars that's kind of burning itself out, and they're just looking to see who will be. And I just realized I was looking over my other thing. I forgot to weigh up one of the nuggets. I had taken it out, put it on a pan, because it rolled down in my pan. Remember when I was cleaning up and I was panning? I missed a nugget. So I'm gonna weigh it up right here off camera. 0.355. So I ended up with 1.2 something in nuggets. See, I'm always like Mary said, I'm always behind. I'm always messing something up. But let's see, I forgot a nugget. I forgot a little nugget. It's in the pan now. Yeah. So, but yeah, so this Saturday, no video coming out. Next Saturday, I will have a equipment battle. First time I've ever done an equipment battle. I've done equipment reviews, but this is the first time I will be battling 2 pieces of equipment against each other to see which one is a better deal, because, you can buy both of them, and maybe this one won't be the best one. Maybe a different will be a different match for you. So They're both from the exact same company. And we're just going to be battling them against each other. And then Tuesday, like I said, this Tuesday coming up, we're going to be going through some Jacobs brand Paydirt, some Mega Dog Paydirt, and some Ozark Bucks. So next week, we got another trio of Paydirts to go through. Try and clean up my shelves a little bit. And I already have some Mega Dogs somewhere on my shelf, I think. Yeah, I already have a Mega Dog on my shelf, so I got one I can get away with. But that's going to be it. I think I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, I need to, I'm just being scratched all up. I need my Benadryl. I need to go to bed. So, but thanks everyone who joined the show. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you will all join me next Tuesday because I don't have a video coming out Saturday. I am working on some stuff, like I said, in the background, start giving away some gold-plated dimes. In January, we'll start with some new mods, or a new way to become a mod, something like that. But till then, we've got a championship battle coming soon. As you can see, I have some championship Paydirts on the shelf. Not all these are championship Paydirts, just some of them. So we got new championships coming, but that's going to be it. I think I'm going to head out of here. I hope everyone has an absolutely wonderful week. Watch some good videos, catch some good gold, and do some panning. But I'm out of here. Thanks, everyone.